definitely happens a lot.
Right.
Well, I said stay and tune in for more, and here we are again. We're at the NAMM show in the GIK Acoustics booth. I am so thrilled. I'm a little nervous, to be honest. We have with us from Blue Oyster Cult, Buck Dharma. Buck, thank you so much for coming by.
Oh, pleasure.
It is really an honor to have you. And we were just talking, Buck has a new studio. You're living now in Maryland, and you have a new studio, and GIK Acoustics. Once again, we had a great pleasure and an honor to work with him. But tell us all about your studio.
Yeah, I've got a room behind where my cars are parked in the garage. The original owner had a workshop there, and when I bought the house, I converted that workshop into a studio. And it's not huge. It's about as wide as a two-car garage and about half as deep. But the space is fairly porous as far as sound. You know, it's not sealed, and it doesn't sound too evil. But I got some very smart acoustic advice from Jeff Hedbeck, who's an acoustic consultant, and he spec'd a lot of GIK products for the studio, and I'm totally ecstatic with the result. I'm just over the moon. I'm hearing what I take out of the studio now. It translates everywhere. And it just makes the whole process a lot easier than it has been in other environments. So yeah, good stuff.
That's great. I'm so glad to hear that. And yes, you mentioned Jeff Hedbeck. We love Jeff. He's a legend. He's fantastic.
I definitely like to ring his bell because he really knows what he's doing. And as far as GIK products, I love those tuned membrane bass traps. You know?
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I have 8 of them, and they really work well. You know, and they're sort of compact. They don't take up a lot of space in the room either. You know?
Right. Because we don't want to impede too much into the space.
Yeah, I've got 3 on the ceiling and 5 on the wall. You know, on the end where my monitors are. Because I got one room, I don't have a control room. I just have one big room.
That's what I was about to ask. So, what all are you doing in the room? Is it just a live room?
Yeah, it's the way the room is. It's not completely dead, but it's well controlled. It doesn't. There's no evil in it, you know, and because I have plenty of reverbs to add, and it would be nice to have a huge room that I could do acoustic drums in. I don't do that. It's mostly vocals, acoustic guitar, and of course all my electric instruments. And I don't make a huge racket anymore. I've been using a Kemper for electric guitars. I also have a 2-notes torpedo, which is a load box and impulse response that I can plug my amplifiers in, and I also mic cabinets sometimes. But anyway, I'm very happy with the way the room sounds, and it's very comfortable to work in. Looks great. You know, I've got a couple of these guys as a cloud over the mix position. You know, and about 40% of the room has got Owens Corning fiberglass covered with fabric, you know, on the walls, you know, plus, you know, more of your stuff. So
awesome, thank you. And we're very honored to have worked with you. So you've got this great studio. So tell me about the projects that you're working on. What all are you up to these days?
Well, I've just started cranking stuff out. I've launched a YouTube channel. It's YouTube/original Buck Dharma. And I'm creating original content for that. Blue Oyster Cult is going to make a record this year, the first one in about 15 years. And that'll be out probably by the fall. And I anticipate after we track the drums, probably most of the overdubs will be done at either my studio or my colleague Richie Castellano has a studio in Staten Island, and we'll probably be handling most of the overdubs, you know, and then we'll hopefully get a really crackerjack mix engineer to finish it.
Oh, well, I know a few mix engineers. If you need any recommendations, we can help you with that. Well, speaking of advice, that was going to be my next question. So, I mean, you have such an amazing career, songwriting and everything. So, tell me, what advice do you have for kids that are coming up these days? What would you say to them?
I don't relate to a lot of what currently popular music. You know, I do hear some things that I like, but just the idiom in general, I think I'm just too ancient for. I'm a little too old for. But I think as a rule of thumb, you wanna create something that captures the ear from the moment it starts. You know, the first 15, 20 seconds of any song is really where you want to, you know, hook the listener in. You know, and then you want to reel them in. You know, so. And I would advise people to, you know, blaze new paths. You know, try to be original. Try to not. It's good to copy other people to learn craft, but you wanna stand out from the pack. So no matter what genre of music you're doing, so you wanna make it your own.
Absolutely. That's great advice, right? Stay true to yourself and then do your own thing.
Right.
So the last question I want to ask you: this is the last day of the NAMM show. You've been here all 4 days, I believe.
No, I got here Friday afternoon. I was working. The band was working in San Diego on.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So, what do you enjoy about the NAMM show? What makes you keep coming back? What do you look forward to?
Well, it's like the world's biggest music store, you know, and I always like going into music stores.